Hi guys, it's Debbie. As May is now over, it's time to look back at some of the best and worst films and TV series released this month. Now, May 2017 has been quite a peculiar month because this time of year usually represents that moment in which the huge rush of awesome Oscar-winning movies is over, but yet we still haven't stepped into that summer box office hit Suicide Squad Independence Day resurgence moment. So May usually is a very quiet month, but this year, after an awesome start with the new Dunkirk trailer, we have seen some pretty big names. There has been Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales, Alien Covenant, so there's been quite a lot of movement in the world of cinema. But although I said big names, that doesn't always mean good releases. So today I would like to speak about what I personally consider some of my favourite and least favourite releases of May 2017. As always, this is just my personal opinion and I would love to hear yours, so feel free to leave a comment here below and let me know about your opinions and your recommendations. Now let's start with the worst side of May. The first film I would like to speak about is Snatched, a comedy film, or at least it tries to be, directed by Jonathan Levine. It is the story of Emily, portrayed by Amy Schumer. She is a 30-something-year-old woman which, because of her lazy, self-centered attitude, loses her job and doesn't have any friends. After her boyfriend breaks up with her, Emily tries to convince her mother to join her on a trip the couple had previously planned together. Emily's mother is a very shy, reserved and anxious woman, so the prospect of travelling to an exotic location packed with adventures is a challenge for her. Up to this point, the plot sounds pretty interesting. I expected a funny, although not excellent movie, packed with hilarious situations and a final important message about cherishing the relationship with your mother. As a matter of fact, the film was released on Mother's Day, but as the plot moved on, this film turned out to not be only the worst film of May, but potentially of the whole year. Apparently it was trying to create that Bad Mums, We're the Millers, The Hangover effect, with grown-worthy but still hilarious scenes, an audience cracking up with laughter, and just the right amount of cheesy jokes. For example, I already know that in a couple of days I'll be seeing Baywatch, and although I'm aware that it will be awful, I still know I'll end up cracking up with laughter. Snatched instead just turned out to be plain cringeworthy and awkward. Amy Schumer was absolutely terrible in her role, with no credibility and terrible acting skills which were just limited to laughter, silence and then screams. The plot wasn't even close to engaging, with no character development and just plain childish jokes. I have no idea how this film could be considered a fun, amusing film to watch as a special mother-daughter moment. Maybe if Joan Cusack had been given a more prominent role in the film, we might have been able to see a better product. Now, moving on to the brighter side of May, the first wonderful release I would like to speak about is a TV series, American Gods. The first episode actually aired on the last day of April, so we obviously all got to see the TV series in May. It is only at its 5th episode and it has already completely won me over. The story is set in our modern, cold, cynical world in which obviously no one believes in the concept of an ancient god, but on the contrary, society metaphorically worships globalization, technology, media. And in American Gods, these concepts aren't just limited to an idea, but they are represented by tangible, real, frightening individuals. There is a contrast, a concrete contrast, between the old gods. For example, there is Mr. Wednesday, which represents an ancient god, or for example, an ancient goddess of love, or Anubis, the god of death, against the new gods, so technology, media, as I said before, globalization. The main character is Shadow, a mysterious ex-convict which starts to work alongside Mr. Wednesday and discovers this mysterious, dangerous, violent and frightening supernatural world which is completely new to him and new to us. What I really appreciate is that it covers topics which are obviously unrealistic but are still extremely frightening, because we walk around this world as if we are gods in it, but at the same time we deep down know we worship these new gods, or we depend on technology, we adore media, so the prospect of facing an actual god is absolutely terrifying, but we still deny it because we believe we are kings of our world. So the show manages to bring a frightening realism into a completely unrealistic world. I'm really pleased when I find a TV series or a film which covers topics which are considered dark or unconventional with no fear. The plot is engaging right from the first episode, dragging us into this hellish, nightmarish world. It is also a visual feast with high quality slow motion close-ups of drops of sweat and blood or movements, as if we really were a nightmare. I would recommend American Gods to anybody searching for an unconventional plot and darker topics, but presented in a very mature way. It really is a hidden gem shadowed by bigger names in the industry. The second really good release, in my personal opinion, is Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales, directed by Joachim Ronning and Espen Sandberg. It is the 5th installment in the series and follows the characters on the search for the legendary trident of Poseidon, while at the same time escaping from Salazar, a former Spanish captain now reduced to a cursed ghost which roams the seas searching for his archenemy, Captain Jack Sparrow. This film has received polarized reviews. Some have hated it, saying the creators have scraped the bottom, tried to keep in life a product which should have ended years ago. Others, instead, like me, appreciated the evident effort at creating a better product, at creating something deeper and meaningful, but still maintaining that fun, entertaining spirit the first chapters introduced. The first sign of this effort is the introduction of new characters which are extremely well built, whose dialogues are very deep and meaningful, alongside a personality which is no longer a mere plot filler. For example, Salazar is one of the most frightening villains ever introduced to a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and not just because of his hellish appearance, but because of how Javier Bardem really manages to convey his resentful and anger-fueled personality. We really feel the hatred for Jack Sparrow. We feel the anger for years and years of being a cursed ghost. We also introduced to other new interesting characters such as Karina Smith or Henry Turner, which are particularly interesting because they represent the complete opposite of their surroundings, and they also represent the complete opposite of the generic personalities which we have always seen in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. The character of Jack Sparrow was one of the most evident changes from the previous movie, which was on Stranger Tides, in which Johnny Depp had really let me down. He didn't convey a fraction of what he used to do. He had lost completely his magic when portraying his character Jack Sparrow. In Dead Men Tell No Tales, he was really back on track, giving us all that fun, entertaining spirit we were missing so much. As I said in my review, I am aware that Pirates of the Caribbean is a series which must be watched with a certain attitude. It is made to entertain, it is meant to be fun and visually stunning, but within this mindset, this film actually was really good, engaging, and also visually stunning. Let me know what you enjoyed watching this month with a comment here below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for many more movie related videos. See you soon. Bye.